Hey y'all, how you doing? Well, today is Monday. It is April 27th, and today I'm going to talk to you about bullet journaling for Hoodoo. And I'm going to do this specifically in terms of burning vigil lights for yourself or for other people. But before I get into that, I feel like I need to explain to you what is bullet journaling. Um, I have been bullet journaling since about 2016 when I first heard about it. Um, and these are some of my bullet journals from the last 4 years. So here we have 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. And then this is my current bullet journal. As you can see, I always put some kind of symbol or something on the beginning, on the front of my bullet journal. And I'm going to show you some pages out of this in a minute. But a bullet journal is a sort of diary, personal planner, and other things all kind of rolled into one. And the pages in a bullet journal are called spreads, and there are all different kinds of spreads. There's some that are standard, but even then, not everybody uses those standard spreads. So this is something you can completely personalize for yourself. Some of the standard spreads are like your yearly spread, monthly spread, or weekly spread. Sometimes you'll hear these called as logs. So your yearly log, monthly log, and weekly log. And there's different ways you can create these spreads. People personalize them. Um, in addition to that, you can really personalize it according to your own needs. For example, I've seen people who have mood trackers. I don't do that. I personally don't see the purpose of that because, I may wake up grumpy one morning and go to bed cheerful, or vice versa. My mood does not stay the same throughout the day. Um, Unless you have a mood disorder and you have to do that for tracking your medications or whatever. Some people track their daily steps. Some people track their exercise routine or their weight loss over a period of time. Some people keep track of birthdays of their friends and family so they can send them a card or something. Some people track their cleaning schedules. So what you track or the spreads you create is completely up to you. Um, and I want to also say that the pages that people create in their bullet journals range from just sloppy to stunning. Some of the people who create these pages are very talented artistically, and they draw little sketches and color them in, or watercolor, and they create these beautiful pages that really remind me a lot of the pages from the Charmed Book of Shadows, if you remember that. Um, and then there's something called minimalist bullet journaling, where you just put in the absolute minimum. You don't have to draw all these pictures and things. Now, usually at the beginning of your bullet journal, you have a key, and this is my key. It's like a task, something that's in progress. See if I can read upside down. Something that's completed, something that's irrelevant, something that's migrated, meaning I plan to do this on Monday, but now I'm going to do it on Tuesday or Wednesday. A note, an event, something I want to research, and then I have a little heart for health. And since I'm also such a perfectionist, I got this little thing off of Etsy. It's just a little stencil. It's about the size of a credit card. I keep it in my bullet journal to help me put these little symbols in my bullet journal. And I created a little pocket envelope to keep it in. So I want to show you. This is my version of a yearly spread. This is a quick sort of thing. As you can see right here, I have a copy of my birth chart that I can refer to with all my notes on it. I can pull it out and look at it when I'm looking at transits. That might not be something that you want to do. This was my yearly tarot reading at the beginning of the year that I did for myself. I I have goals I want to strive for. This is something I really like. Oh, hold on. I like to read. So these are all the books that I have read so far this year. Now, when I created this spread, I didn't know I was going to be in quarantine for a long time, so I've really read way more books so far than I thought I would. And last year I read 52 books, so I made sure I had about 52 because I didn't think I'd read more than one book a week. And then at the bottom you can kind of see my key is something to read, in progress, and read. I have Mercury retrogrades here. I also have like a little ephemeris in my bullet journal for tracking the transits of the planets, and it's done by the month. Also, I have little boxes here, so it's like here on January 13th, Venus entered Pisces at 10:37. When I write my blog for that, I fill it in. I mean, when I post it. Let's see here, for example. I haven't done this yet. Mercury entered Taurus today. Will enter Taurus today at 12:53. I don't know if y'all can see this. Mercury will enter Taurus today at 12:53. Now, when I colored it halfway in, that meant I wrote my blog for it, and I pre-scheduled it, and it posted this morning. So that means I have to fill in the rest of this box to show that it's now posted. That's a little ephemeris. And then sometimes I move things from there to my weekly spreads and my monthly spreads. For example, here's my monthly spread for May. And as you can see, I track the moon phases and I look at the transits. That means when the planets change. I also remember that I think it's May 12th when Venus goes retrograde. I need to remember to add that there. And this space over here, if y'all can see it, this is for May of this year. This is where I'll go and write in the lucky and unlucky days for the month, what I call the best days. And that's something that's I post every month in at my blog, two-headed astrology on Google Blogger. Every month on the first of the month, I post a entry that says the astrology of, and it's like May's coming up. It'll be the astrology of May 2020, and I list all the transits for the month. And then under that, I write what's called best days. And I post the best days for love spells, crown of success, banishing, cleansing, things of that nature. And I keep getting emails from people all the time. What are the best days for this month? What are the best days for that? And I tell them over and over again, it's always posted on the first day of the month at the blog. You just have to go there and look at it. Now, the last thing I want to show you in my bullet journal, this is my weekly spread, and it's basically 8 boxes, 4 on top, 4 on the bottom, and it runs from Sunday to Saturday. And then I have this empty space here where I can write notes. Y'all can see a little list of things I wanted to order or I got. I don't know if y'all can even see this or not. Let's just turn it this way. And what I want to kind of show you is, those of you who follow me on Instagram, y'all know that I pull a card of the day every day, and I change up the deck or the medium I'm using every week. And I don't just post that to Instagram. I put that in my bullet journal. I write it down that morning, and I devote a certain number of spaces to writing that in. And then ahead of the time, I write things like here that shows me on April 20th, I knew that the moon entered Aries at 12 a.m. Also, Monday, run car. I haven't been driving my car, so that was my reminder to go out there, crank up my car, and let it run for about 10 minutes so that the battery won't die while I'm in lockdown. So that is my bullet journal. Now, let's talk about bullet journaling for your hoodoo practices. And again, I'm going to talk about this in terms of burning vigil lights. And those of you who don't know, this is a vigil light. Usually it has a label on it that tells you what it's for. So you'll see, the name of the candle and maybe a picture that goes along with it. You don't always have to do this. I make my own. I design my own labels on word or something. And then sometimes I'll even, I have a shoebox. Actually, it's in this closet behind here, but this is a shower curtain I put up for my backdrop. There's a shoebox in that closet, and it's full of pictures that I've clipped out of magazines, newspapers, and words and phrases I've clipped out. And so sometimes I'll make sort of a little craft out of it. I should have got one as an example. I'll glue a picture that has to do with what I want to attract. For example, you might see a little money back here, and then I'll find the word money and the word magnet, and that'll be a money magnet candle. And it's just a little way to, get kind of creative or make up your own words that mean something. Sometimes I'll use popular slang or what have you. For example, I found a picture of a woman on fire in a magazine one time, and so I glued that to the candle, and then I wrote the words, found the words "bye" and "Felicia," and I put "bye Felicia," and that was a candle to banish a certain woman that was interfering in a client's life. So that can be something fun to do. It's sort of like creating your own vision board on a candle. So anyway, as a professional root worker, I burn hundreds of candles for people, and every candle I burn, I keep a record of. These are just some of my, this says Candle Altar Services, and that's the logo for my website. And every one of these notebooks, every page in these notebooks has a different candle that I burned for someone, and it's got all kinds of information in it that's really helped me in my own practices, burning candles, helping other people, learning things. And if you keep a record of your candle burnings, you're going to have all kinds of information that will help you in your practices as well. And I'm going to tell you how I set up my bullet journals and record information. I'm going to look for a page. Sometimes I drew in a bullet journal when I'm bored. I just sort of sketch. I don't really do that much anymore. And I'm trying to find a page because I know y'all can screenshot these things. I don't want to give away any customers' information. I think this one has a candle I burnt for myself. Yeah, this is a candle that goes back to August of 2015. And it was a candle I burnt for myself, and I called it, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, I don't care, they can take me down, but I called it a fuckboy candle, and it was to attract a fuckboy. And you can see here all my handwritten notes of my record of how that candle burned and whatnot. So I'm going to show you how I set this up. So, and I typed this up. This is a fake one that I typed up to give you as an example, and I'm hoping y'all can see this on the screen. So you see this says candle burn report. You don't have to write that in your notebook or book, but the first thing you're going to want to write down is the name of the person, the candle, who bought the candle. This might not even be the same person that the candle's for, but you're gonna need to know their name for when you send them their report. I forgot to put it on here, but you're gonna want to put their email address too, because your emails might go down. It may get accidentally deleted. If you get payments through PayPal, PayPal might go offline. You never know what'll happen. So it's good to keep contact information in your books. Plus, it's right there. You don't have to go back and look for it. When your candle's spent and you pull out your notebook and read over your notes to write up the report, you got their email address right there. You don't have to go look for it. You don't always have to get this information, but I always tried to get their birth date, and from that I would get their sign, because I am an astrologer, and knowing a person's sun sign kind of helps me understand their personality somewhat. The next thing you're going to want to write in your bullet journal is what type of candle the person is purchasing. So on here I wrote FMB, which is Follow Me Boy. And then you want to write the name of the person that the candle is to affect. For example, I had a woman who purchased candles for her mother, so she bought the candle. I was to send the candle burn report to her, but the information was for her mother because her mother was older and didn't have a computer. So you want to know who is this candle for, and if you can request information if you want it, get their birthday too. Also, from that I got their signs, and also since this is a Follow Me Boy candle, I already know that Jane Doe is a Virgo and John Doe is a Taurus. I know that Virgo and Taurus are compatible, so that gives me a little bit of information about the type of relationship they have. The next thing you want to write down is the date you started the candle. What day? So I just made up April 11th, 2020. And then, this is not something that you have to keep, but I always wrote down the moon phase and the sign the moon was in. So we see on April 11th, the moon was full and it was in Sagittarius. And then you want to leave room for, when the candle was done, you want to leave room for, go up, the date the candle ended. And here I just wrote April 16th, 2020. As you burn candles, you'll come to know what is average and what is not. For example, I know that this candle here, the average for it to burn is 5 days. It used to be 7 days, but now due to the quality of the materials they use, this candle, the average is 5 days. And you're going to need to know how many days this candle burned, because if it burns up really quickly, that has a meaning. If this burns up in 3 days, that has a meaning. If it takes 7, 8 days, that have a meaning. So you're going to want to know how long this candle burned, so you can include that information in your interpretation. When the candle burns out, you also want to write down the moon phase and sign. Well, you don't want to, but this is something I did. And then the last thing is, I always wrote down, did I have to relight the candle? So maybe on the 3rd day, maybe you woke up that morning and checked your candle, and the candle got drowned in the wax, and you had to dig out the wick, or splinter the wick, and relight it. So that's going to mean something too. So you're going to want to know, you're going to have to make a note of when you had to relight the candle, or if it broke. Maybe you woke up and it broke. That's something that you're going to have to write right there. And then you're going to have to decide if this candle broke, what am I going to do? Is it still burning, or when it broke, did it stop burning? Do I need to start a new candle? Can I safely still burn this candle even though it broke? I don't know. You have to decide. So then you're going to get down into your daily notes. You're going to wake up every morning, hopefully every morning, if not the morning, at the same time each day. And you're going to look at this candle and see how it's burning. Is the flame high? Is the flame low? Is it jumping up and down? Does the candle seem, weak, or what have you? You're going to write daily notes about this candle. And I'm not going to show you the notes I wrote here, because one of my viewers has asked me to do a video on reading candles, and I actually started a candle Friday morning, and when it burns out, I'm going to do a video reading that candle for you, and I'm going to use this example again. But then this is where your notes will be, and then one of the last things, not every worker does this, I did it, is I wrote out a spiritual prescription for the client to follow up. So anyway, that is how you can set up a bullet journal for Hoodoo and keep track of your candles burning. You can do this with freestanding candles too if you want to. You don't have to. It's just that you do this with vigil candles because they usually take a number of days to burn. I just remembered something I wanted to show y'all. I know it's in this book, so I'm going to babble here for a minute till I find the page. I wanted to show you how sometimes, I forgot to tell you, I write whatever the person's petition was, that goes in there as well, because you want to know what their words were. Sometimes I draw I actually have to draw the candle. I can't find it. Anyway, I'm going to talk more about this in my next video when I do it on how to read a candle. But anyway, that is how to set up a bullet journal for your candle reading. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy hoodooing.